I'm coming on to do another reading, and this is from Second Baruch. Baruch is the what is he, like the writer of Jeremiah? He was like the messenger with Jeremiah. They took messages to around Israel and that type of thing. But yeah, these were cut out. And I'm going to start at chapter 21. And I went there and sat in the valley of Kidron in a cave of the earth, and I sanctified my soul there. And I ate no bread, yet I was not hungry. I drank no water, yet I did not thirst. And I was there until the seventh day, as he had commanded me. The angels commanded him to do this. And afterward I came to the place where he had spoken with me. And it came to pass at sunset that my soul took much thought, and I began to speak in the presence of the Mighty One, that's Yahweh, and said, O you that have made the earth, hear me, that have fixed the expanse by the word, have made firm the height of the heaven by the Spirit. They have called from the beginning of the world that which did not yet exist, and they obey you. You that have commanded to err by your nod have seen those things which are to be those things which you are doing. You that rule with great thought the hosts that stand before you, also the countless holy beings which you made from the beginning, of flame and fire, which stand around your throne. I think he's talking about seraphim. You rule with indignation. To you only does this belong, that you should immediately do whatever you wish. You who caused the drops of rain to rain by number on the earth, and alone knows the consummation of the times before they come, and have respect to my prayer. For you alone are able to sustain all who are, and those who have passed away, and those who are to be, those who sin and those who are righteous, as living and being past finding out. For you alone live as immortal and past finding out, and know the number of mankind. And if in time many have sinned, yet others, not a few, have been righteous. You know where you preserve the end of those who have sinned, or the consummation of those who have been righteous. For if there were this life only, which belongs to all men, nothing could be more bitter than this. For what profit is strength that turns to sickness, or fullness of food that turns to famine, or beauty that turns to ugliness? For the nature of man is always changeable. For what we were formerly now, we no longer are, and what we now are, we will not afterward remain. For if a consummation had not been prepared for all, in vain would have been their beginning. But regarding everything that comes from you, you inform me, and regarding everything about which I ask you, you enlighten me. How long will that which is corruptible remain? And how long will the time of mortals be prospered? And until what time will those who transgress in the world be polluted with much wickedness? Therefore command in mercy and accomplish all that you said you would bring, and that your might may be made known to those who think that your long-suffering is weakness, and show to those who do not know that everything that has befallen us in our city until now has been according to the long-suffering of your power, because on account of your name you have called us as a beloved people. Therefore henceforth bring mortality to an end, and remove the messenger of death accordingly, and yet let your glory appear, and let the might of your beauty be known, and let Sheol, hell, be sealed, so that from this time forward it may not receive the dead, and let the treasuries of souls restore those which are enclosed in them. For there have been many years like these that are desolate from the days of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and of all those who are like them, who sleep in the earth. So in other words, they're sleeping it's like, I think it's called like Abraham's bosom, and it's a place where it's like a holding place, where Jesus went and got them when he died. On whose account you said that you had created the world, and now quickly show your glory and do not defer what has been promised by you. And when I had completed the words of this prayer, I was greatly weakened. It came to pass after these things that, behold, the heavens were open, and I saw the power was given to me, and a voice was heard, Baruch, Baruch, why are you troubled? He travels by road, but does not complete it, or who departs by sea, but does not arrive at the port, can be comforted, or who promises to give present. I'll just skip on. Not so, my Lord. And he answered, why are you therefore troubled about that which you do not know? And why are you ill at ease about things in which you are ignorant? For as you have not forgotten the people who now are and those who have passed away, so I remember those who are appointed to come. Because when Adam sinned and death was decreed against those who should be born, then the multitude of those who should be born was numbered, and for that number a place was prepared where the living might dwell, the dead might be guarded. Therefore, before the number previously mentioned is fulfilled, the creature will not live again, for my spirit is the creator of life, and Sheol will receive the dead. And again it is given to you to hear what things are to come after these times. For my redemption has truly drawn near, and is not far distant as before. For behold, the days come, and the scrolls will be opened, in which are written the sins of all those who have sinned, and again also the treasuries in which the righteousness of all those who have been righteous to creation is gathered. For it will come to pass at that time that you will see in many who are with you the long suffering of the Most High, which has been throughout all generations, who has been long-suffering toward all who are born, both those who sin and those who are righteous. And I answered and said, but behold, O Lord, no one knows the number of those things which have passed, nor yet of those things which are to come. For I indeed know that which has befallen us, but I do not know what will happen to our enemies when you will visit your works. You too will be preserved until that time, until the sign which the Most High will work for the inhabitants of the earth in the end days. This will therefore be the sign when a stupor will seize the inhabitants of the earth, and they will fall into many tribulations. And again, when they will fall into great torments, and it will come to pass when they say in their thoughts, by reason of their much tribulation. So that has not happened yet. That is about to happen. The Mighty One no longer remembers the earth. So we're starting to see this happening, but we're about to see it in a mighty way. Yes, it will come to pass when they abandon hope, that the time will then awake. Will that tribulation which is to come continue for a long time, and will the necessarily comprise many years? And he answered, that time is divided into 12 parts, and each one of them is reserved for that which is appointed for it. In the first part, there will be beginning of commotions, and in the second part, there will be slayings of the great ones. In the third part, there will the fall of many by death. In the fourth part, the sending of the sword, war. And in the fifth part, famine and withholding of rain. In the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors. And in the seventh part, I guess that part got chopped off. And in the eighth part, a multitude of specters, in other words, ghosts, and attacks of the Shedem. In the ninth part, the fall of fire. In the 10th part, plunder and much oppression. And in the 11th part, wickedness and unchastity. And in the 12th part, confusion from the mingling together of all those things previously mentioned. For these parts of that time are reserved and will mingle with one another and minister to one another. For some will leave out some of their own and receive in its stead from others, and some complete their own and that of others, so that those that may not understand, who are on the earth, and in the earth, consummation of the times. For the measure and reckoning of that time are 2 parts of a week of 7 weeks. And and I answered and said, it is good for man to come and behold incorruptible. So, yeah, I'm going to skip part of it and go down to 29. And he answered and said to me, whatever will then befall will befall the whole earth. Therefore, all who live will experience them. For at that time I will only protect those who are found in those same days in this land. And it will come to pass then, when all is accomplished that was to come to pass in those parts, that the Messiah will then begin to be revealed, and Behemoth will be revealed from his place. Behemoth is a huge, I guess we could call it a monster, a dinosaur, and Leviathan will ascend from the sea. So there's a beast on the land and in the water that has been waiting. Those 2 great monsters, which I created on the 5th day of creation, will have kept until that time, and then they will be food for all that are left. The earth will also yield its fruit 10,000-fold, and on each vine there will be 1,000 branches, and each branch will produce 1,000 clusters, and each cluster produce 1,000 grapes, and each grape produce a core of wine. I don't know how much a core of wine is. And those who have hungered will rejoice. Moreover, also they will behold marvels every day, for winds will go forth from me to bring every morning the fragrance of aromatic fruits, and at the close of the days clouds distilling the dew of health. And it will come to pass at that same time that the treasury of manna will again descend from on high, and will eat on it in those years, because these are they who have come to the consummation of time. So these are the people that are of God. And it will come to pass after these things, when the time of the advent of the Messiah is fulfilled, that he will return in glory. Notice how what I see is there's tribulations like we have never seen. Like he goes into it, and then he talks about the advent, like coming in his glory. Then all who have fallen asleep in the hope of him will rise again. There's, in other words, falling asleep. So they were off of this world and like dead, if you will. And it will come to pass at that time that the treasuries will be opened, in which is preserved the number of souls of the righteous, and they will come forth, and a multitude of souls will be seen together in one assemblage of one thought. And the first will rejoice, and the last will not be grieved, for they know that the time has come, of which it is said that it is the consummation of times. But the souls of the wicked, when they behold all these things, will then waste away more. For they will know that their torment has come, and their perdition has arrived. So yeah, and it goes into these things who come to pass when everything pray of corruption and be as though it had not been. But as you, if you prepare your hearts so as to sow in them the fruits of the law, it will protect you in that time. In which the mighty one is to shake the whole creation. Notice how he doesn't say he's going to bring his people home, because after a short time the building of Zion will be shaken in order that it may be built again, but that building will not remain. But will again after a time be rooted out, and will remain desolate until the time, and afterward it must be renewed in glory and perfected forevermore. Therefore we should not be distressed so much over the calamity which has now come, as over that which is still to be. For there will be a greater trial than these 2 tribulations, when the mighty one will renew his creation. And that, I think, I don't know, that kind of is hinting at the 1,000-year reign. And now do not draw near to me for a few days, nor seek me, and I come. And Baruch went away, lifted up his voice, lamented, and said, to where are you departing from us, Baruch, and forsaking us? Okay. So I'm going to stop there. But that was Baruch, and I'm going to pick it up there tomorrow. And I'm going to continue on with what I've been doing. I just wanted to show you that a different version of scripture that has been cut out. This is my well-used, you can see it's falling apart. So this is the Apocrypha. And the sad thing is this was cut out by King James. Well, actually, no, it wasn't cut out by King James. Sorry, I take that back. It was approved by King James, and he's also the one that approved the Demonology, which is another book. But I strongly recommend that you read the Apocrypha for yourself. You can put in sacred texts or whatever online, and you can find these. They're very helpful. So thank you for joining me, and I'm going to try to continue this daily or every other day. Hopefully you learned stuff and listened for a little while. God bless you all.